Hello, this is John Locke from Lockdown Design. Bear with me today, I haven't even had my first cup of coffee. Today I want to share a few thoughts on why creating better content is not the only path to better SEO. One of the things that you're going to hear a lot of SEO consultants say is create better content and people link to it and you're going to get better SEO. I don't think that that's technically wrong, and in fact I think that you won't have good SEO unless you create best-in-class content. The thought process behind this is missing just a little something. Before I explain what I mean in a little bit greater detail, let me tell you a story. SEO in a lot of ways is like web development. There's many layers that are stacked. And in the same way that anybody that can write HTML and CSS can call themselves a web developer, the same thing is true of SEO. Now, when I wrote my first web page in around 2009 in HTML and CSS, was I a web developer? Technically, yes, but there are tons of people out there that are more hardcore programmers than I will ever be or ever hope to be. This is what I mean by there's layers. Now in SEO it's the same thing. Can anybody go into a WordPress site, install Yoast, tweak your titles and descriptions? Yes. Does that mean that they're helping you with SEO? Yes, but there's layers to it. This brings me back to my original point. A lot of people who sell SEO are going to focus a lot on either one of two things. They're going to focus either on acquiring as many backlinks to your site as possible, or they're going to create as much content. The reason being is because these are two things which everybody knows goes into the ranking formula, and which Google itself has said goes into the ranking formula. I don't think links will ever go away as a ranking factor, and though Google says that brand mentions are part of it as well, like how many times your brand name is mentioned, when the brand name is linked, it does perform better than when it's just plain text, and that's something that science backs up. One thing that a lot of more casual SEOs focus on is content, which is great. I don't think that you can win SEO without having best-in-class, stellar, kick-ass content. You're not going to win SEO anyway, but it's not the only lever that you can pull. It's not the only button that you can adjust to make your SEO go up. Case in point, I saw a Twitter thread yesterday. I can't remember who it was by, but it was another SEO consultant, and they were working on a very large e-commerce site, and they made a bunch of adjustments, and literally almost none of it was content. All of it was technical issues having to do with the crawl rate, having to do with the pagination, canonical tags, 404s, the way that the URL structure was laid out, adding breadcrumbs, so internal linking. And they showed great gains from this, and again, almost none of it was content. This is all technical SEO, and it made big improvements. So that's what I'm saying, like every site is a little bit different. You can't throw the same advice at every single website. You actually have to look at each site individually and make an analysis of what it takes to improve their SEO. The last point that I really want to make, there's a lot of people who have started SEO, they've kind of dipped their toe in the water. Maybe they've been selling SEO a long time, but it's very important to do work on live sites and get your hands dirty, get your hands in the dirt, helping clients with actual live sites and not just dispensing advice and theories. Here's the reason why. All the SEO podcasts, all the SEO blogs, when they're saying John Mueller from Google said this, or Danny Sullivan said that, or if you're going back in the day, Matt Cutts said this. 98% of what they're telling you is true. 98% of what they're telling you is good advice. But if you think that Google is going to give you the step-by-step means of ranking your site, and they're going to tell you the exact formula for ranking your site, you are deceiving yourself. The reason being, if they gave everybody the step-by-step formula for what goes into, making this site number 1 or this site number 2 and this site number 3, then every black hat SEO would manipulate the system. And in fact, they still do. There are still black hat manipulative SEO techniques that work today. Until Google catches on, or until somebody on the Google team actually assigns you a manual penalty because they noticed, or until the machine learning catches on, like this is a pattern of something that is fake. The best things that you can do for SEO is keep your real users in mind and do things that are going to make them happy. Stay away from things like creating private blog networks and sending fake traffic to those so you can send links to your real site. I think it's better to use marketing techniques that you would use if search engines didn't exist at all. That's what I'm saying. Be very wary of just saying, well, Google said this and Google said that for every single instance, because a lot of what they do is disinformation. A lot of what they say is true, but there is a percentage of it that is there to lead you off the track of actually manipulating the results. Put everything that you think you know with SEO to the test. Test it out for real. Do experiments. It is science. SEO is science. It is not snake oil. It's not black magic. It's pure science. You're testing a theory. You're seeing if it works. It's science. If, for example, Google said everybody should move to HTTPS, you now see more sites that are in the top page that are HTTPS than you did in the past. They've been telling people to have mobile-friendly sites for about 3 years. No, but like 4 years now. Can a site that's not mobile-friendly still rank? Yeah, but I can say this. There's sites that I used to see on page 1 that were not mobile-friendly. I don't see them on page 1 anymore. Most of them have dropped down to like page 3 at least. My name's John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design. We help manufacturers, industrial companies, blue-collar companies with SEO and help them get more customers and more requests for quotes. If you have an SEO question that you'd like to see answered, put it in the comments below and we'll answer it for you. Peace out, everyone. Subscribe.